If there's one thing I've learned from years of gardening, it's this: great gardens are built from the soil up, not from expensive inputs or fancy tools. Winter, often seen as the off-season, is actually one of the most powerful times to improve your soil, quietly, cheaply, and naturally. Here at Rootshaven Grounds we focus on working with nature, not against it, and winter soil building is one of the best examples of that philosophy in action. In this article, I'm going to walk you through 2 incredibly affordable and effective ways to build healthier, richer soil over the winter using cover crops and fallen leaves. These methods work whether you're tending a backyard garden, raised beds, or a small homestead plot. They require very little money, minimal effort, and they pay you back with better harvests for years to come. Let's dig in. Why winter soil building matters more than you think. When plants stop growing above ground, life beneath the surface doesn't stop. Soil microbes, fungi, earthworms, and insects are still active whenever temperatures allow. Winter rains and melting snow can either wash nutrients away, or help lock them into the soil, depending on how you manage your beds. Bare soil is vulnerable. It erodes easily, compacts under rain, and loses organic matter fast. Covered soil, on the other hand, is protected, fed, and quietly improving itself while you rest. Building soil in winter isn't extra work, it's smart gardening. At Rootshaven Grounds, winter is when we let the land do most of the work for us. Method 1 is cover crops, growing fertility while you sleep. Cover crops, sometimes called green manure, are plants grown not for harvest but for soil health. They're honestly one of the most powerful tools any gardener can use, and they're surprisingly cheap. When you sow cover crops in fall or early winter, they act like living armor for your soil. Their roots hold everything in place, prevent erosion, and create channels that improve drainage and aeration. Above ground, they shield the soil from harsh weather and temperature swings. But, the real magic happens underground. As cover crops grow, their roots release sugars that feed beneficial microbes. Those microbes, in turn, unlock nutrients already present in the soil and make them available for your future crops. When you cut the cover crop down in late winter or early spring, all that growth becomes organic matter that feeds the soil food web. Legumes like clover, vetch, or field peas are especially valuable because they fix nitrogen from the air and store it in the soil. That means less need for fertilizers later on. Grasses like rye or oats are excellent for building biomass and improving soil structure, especially in compacted or tired beds. The key is choosing the right cover crop for your climate and timing. Even if you plant late and growth is slow, the roots alone are already doing valuable work. You don't need perfection. Nature handles the details. One of the biggest misconceptions is that cover crops are only for farmers. That couldn't be further from the truth. At Rootshaven Grounds we use cover crops in raised beds, pathways, and open garden plots. If a bed won't be planted for several months, that's prime real estate for a cover crop. Simply scatter seed, lightly rake it in, and let rain do the rest. No digging, no heavy labor. In spring you can cut the plants at ground level and leave them right there as mulch, or lightly incorporate them into the topsoil. This approach saves time, builds fertility, and keeps the soil ecosystem intact. For beginners, it's forgiving. For experienced gardeners, it's incredibly effective. Method 2. Leaves, nature's free soil builder. If cover crops are living soil builders, fallen leaves are nature's gift to gardeners who pay attention. Every autumn, trees drop massive amounts of organic matter, and most of it ends up wasted or burned. That's a mistake. Leaves on me blind vibe. Weeds are one of the cheapest, most abundant soil building resources available. At Rootshaven Grounds we treat leaves like gold. When leaves fall, they're packed with carbon trace minerals and energy captured from sunlight all season long. When you return them to the soil, you're recycling nutrients exactly the way forests do. The simplest method is to spread leaves directly over your garden beds as winter mulch. They protect the soil from erosion, suppress weeds, and slowly break down over time. Even if decomposition is slow during cold months, the real breakdown happens in spring as temperatures rise and soil life wakes up hungry. Shredded leaves break down faster, but even whole leaves are valuable. Worms pull them underground, fungi colonize them, and before long you're building rich humus that improves water retention and soil structure. What makes leaves so powerful isn't just the nutrients they contain, it's how they support the soil food web. Fungi thrive on leaf litter, and fungi are essential for long-term soil health. They create networks that transport nutrients, improve soil aggregation, and help plants access water more efficiently. By leaving leaves on your beds over winter, you're encouraging fungal dominance, which is especially beneficial for perennial plants, fruit trees, and long-term garden systems. Even annual vegetable gardens benefit from this increased biological activity. Instead of fighting fallen leaves, work with them. Your soil will thank you. Combining cover crops and leaves for maximum impact. The real magic happens when you combine these two methods. Cover crops grow up through fallen leaves, creating a layered system that mimics natural ecosystems. Leaves protect the soil surface while cover crop roots work below ground. Together, they reduce nutrient loss, increase organic matter, and improve soil resilience. This approach is especially helpful if your soil is poor, compacted, or depleted. Over just one winter, you'll notice darker soil, better structure, and increased life. Over multiple seasons, the transformation can be, pretty remarkable. And the best part? It costs almost nothing. By the time spring arrives, your soil will be softer, richer, and honestly, just a whole lot easier to work with. You'll notice more earthworms, better moisture retention, and, fewer weeds popping up. Plants establish faster because their roots can move freely and access nutrients more efficiently. This isn't a quick fix, it's really a foundation. Every winter you invest in your soil, you're stacking benefits that, compound year after year. That's how resilient, productive gardens are built. At Rootshaven Grounds, this long-term mindset is at the heart of everything we do. Building soil over winter doesn't require expensive products or, backbreaking labor. It really just requires observation, patience, and a willingness to let nature lead. Cover crops and leaves are two of the most powerful tools you can use, and honestly, they're available to almost every gardener. Whether you're just starting out or you've been gardening for decades, these methods will improve your soil, reduce your workload, and increase your harvests. Healthy soil grows healthy plants, and healthy plants grow confident gardeners. If you found this article helpful and want more practical, nature-based gardening advice, subscribe to the Rootshaven Grounds YouTube channel, share this with a fellow gardener, and join us as we keep building better soil, one season at a time.